Back to another episode of Hikes and Walks. Today we're at Shiloh National Military Park in Shiloh, Tennessee. This is where a Civil War battlefield, one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War took here. We're not exploring the park this week. We are here at the Shiloh Indian Mounds Historic Landmark. Thank you again. But the Shiloh Indian Mounds National Historic Landmark it's a trail that goes by a series of Indian mounds that were established between 1200 and 1300 and were occupied for hundreds of years. They were abandoned sometime after 1300 by the Indian tribes that lived here and moved further down. But coming through here, there's the Shiloh Indian Mounds. You're entering the largest surviving prehistoric site in the Tennessee River Valley in one of the least disturbed areas of eastern mounds in the eastern United States. Early European settlers were familiar with the site. After the Civil War Battle of Shiloh, members of the 20th Illinois Infantry buried their fallen comrades in the westernmost platform mound. Their bodies were later reinterred in the National Cemetery. Thanks to its early inclusion in the military park, the site of this ancient town was never plowed. Spend some time looking at the exhibits in the shelter and take the 1.1 mile interpretive loop trail through the grounds and back to the parking lot. So here we are here, and we're going to make our way down and around and back up. All right. This is going to be neat. Okay, this is just a little legend of the trail we're going to be walking on today. As you know, they kind of got laid out around the mounds and stuff. All right. I'm excited about this. I like the historical walks, and this is as historical as you can get. I will be coming back here and covering the Monuments Trail. It's a 10.1 mile loop trail. We're basically a road walk that takes you by most of the monuments, but I'll be breaking it down in several episode video series. It's a nice little trail through here. Okay, there you go. We do have some blow down here. So I'm just gonna do a little cut through here. I haven't already introduced it, but today is Sunday, September the 12th, 2021. It's about 4:40 p.m. Now the site the park closes at dark, so I know this is not a very long trail, which I'm glad, so I can cover all of it today. Okay, here, a temporary wall. The low ridge you're about to cross is all that remains of an extensive wall that protected a small town located here from about 550 to 950 years ago. Life here was generally peaceful, but the townspeople must have felt threatened at some point and built this palisade. To build the wall, they placed wooden posts in the ground 6 to 8 inches apart, lashed them together with slender branches, and covered the branches with clay. The palisade deteriorated over a 10 to 20 year period. The residents apparently never felt the need to replace it. And right here, crossing over this bridge is where the palisade was. You can see it is kind of built up a little bit right here. But that's where that temporary wall would have been right there. Okay. Okay. Signs of dwellings. As you walk through the town site, look for small earthen mounds similar to the one next to the wooden stake and the other mounds in front of you. These mounds are the remains of wattle and daub houses in which most of the town's inhabitants lived. Okay, so build like a little earthen mounds here. Now the mounds, they would build their structures on top of the mounds. You know, so all right, we're going to be on the lookout for those mounds where their houses and buildings were laid on top of. There has been quite a bit of blowdown on this trail. But as usual, the National Park Service does a pretty good job of getting it taken care of. Really big root structure right there. Oh, wow. Some massive blowdowns. Okay, nice little pond there. It looks like kind of stagnant right now, but a little pond. It might tell us something about it right here. Borrow pits. The depressions of wet weather ponds in front of you are the holes where residents dug up clay to build their wattle and daub houses. Here in the nearby ravines, they also borrowed soil to construct the large mounds you will see farther along the trail. They loosened the soil with pointed sticks or hoes, scooped up the dirt, and built the mounds basketful by basketful, a laborious process. So, that right there is a borrow pit. They come in here and dig out the mud and clay out of there to build the houses, the structures. Okay. All right, here's another one of those little borrow pits, little ponds off to the right here. Okay, here is the first mound. Up here. And we can go on top of there, so we're gonna make it up here. This is the first mound. And this is where the Illinois infantry buried their bodies of their comrades that were later interred at 28th Illinois Infantry burial place. Right here. Okay. I didn't want to go up on the mound. Just wanted to go to the edge where there was a path. Even though the bodies were reinterred at a different location, I do want to. This is a lot of human, just a lot of human suffering and stuff, and a lot of history here. But along with that history, a lot of a lot of suffering by people that gave their life. All right, let's go ahead and move on. That's pretty cool. And that also would have been part of where they had put the houses. Okay, the center of town. Right here. The center of town. You are entering the heart of the town, a fairly level plaza stretching from here to the edge of the river bluff. The large mounds you see here served as elevated platforms for civic buildings, temples, and homes of prominent leaders. Between 1100 and 1300, this town was one of the largest and most impressive communities along the entire river. Several hundred people lived here, and the others came here regularly from villages and hamlets up and down the riverway, just as people might drive to Nashville or Memphis today. Okay. And we do have another one of those little borrow pits over here. Let me scroll up. Sorry about the little pan there. You can see over there, another one of those borrow pits for the clay, the wet clay. I should have brought bug spray. Didn't think about it. I didn't know how woodsy this trail would be. But there are a lot of mosquitoes. And here. So definitely bring bug spray. And as you can see, have like the hard little plaza. I seen that infantry burial site where they reinterred later was probably where the main building was. And through here, the heart of the plaza. Okay, just says signs of prestige. I'm gonna be quiet because there's an owl here. Or eagle, might be an eagle. Yeah, bald eagle. That was the bald eagle there. Nope, this is not the trail. Let me take a break here and I'll pick up when... Alright, over here is another mound, another Indian mound in the main plaza area. Okay, that sound you hear, spoke to two ladies back there. They're calling owls. It's owl calls. And over here, that's another mound over there in the distance. Over there, another earthen mound. This is really cool. The trees here are just really old and historic and huge. Just huge trees. You don't see this rarely outside of protected areas. Okay. So, I saw a bald eagle. Evidently, the two ladies back there using the owl calls are calling to attract like eagles and bald eagles and stuff like that. That's really cool. Oh, almost missed it. Here's a smaller Indian mound over here. Part of that. Okay. Here's really cool. Right up here. This is a really well-preserved mound right here. Okay, and we can walk up here. Here we go. Okay. The official name of this trail on the All Trails Pro app is the Riverside and Indian Mound Trail. And as you can see, definitely, there's the river, Tennessee River right there, running through the heart of Shiloh. Okay. A vibrant community. Topped off with a temple, a chief's residence, or a governmental building, this mound served as the social and ceremonial focus of the community. The summit offered an unparalleled view of religious ceremonies, dances, games, and everyday activities on the plaza. The whole community, plus residents from nearby villages, gathered to celebrate the Corn Festival, the beginnings of a new year, with feasting, rituals, and dancing. Crowds watched and bet on teams competing at games of chunky and stickball. And on other days, townspeople went to the plaza to catch up on the news, to see what was happening and to be seen. There's a chunky stone. Chunky. Contestants rolled a chunky stone across an open field and threw spears at the spot where they thought it would stop rolling. And a major river town. You are here on the Tennessee River. As you see, it starts back off in Knoxville, goes in East Tennessee, North Alabama, Mississippi, goes back up to the Ohio River, through Kentucky, and into Illinois, dumps in Illinois. But there is the Tennessee River. So this would have been the religious and governmental capital of this Indian village here at about 1200, around 1,000 years ago.